And we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Hi, this is Jim Miller, and this is Unlocking Personal Leadership Live, number 27. And it's a bit late, so I'm keeping my voice down. Hopefully, you can hear me. And I wanted to tonight talk about something that's it's recently come into my sphere of awareness for me personally, and got me to looking through some of the statistics, as I I like to do on the subject. But before we get to that, tomorrow is in California Super Tuesday, which means to get your ass out and vote. Get your butt up off the couch and vote tomorrow. Don't come home and sit down and relax, have your cocktail. Go vote first when you get off of work, or get up early in the morning and go vote. Or hopefully, maybe you voted in advance. But vote. Get your butt out and vote. It's what leaders do. So that's my thought for the day for that. And so on to other things. I figured out these last few weeks I've been wrestling with this idea that my body is just not responding as well as I'd like to all the changes that I've made. I've changed my diet. I changed uh, my stress management. I've gotten better sleep, and I'm still not feeling like I should. Got better energy. Everything's better, but it's not great. So I'm trying to figure out why. And what I came up with is really two big revelations that I've learned and that I've been verifying over the last few weeks after I did that extended fast. Lisa and I did a 6.5 day or 6 day water fast. And so I wanted to figure out what I could do to get my body to a point where it's really happy. And I learned that my glucose is high. My fasting glucose, when I get up in the morning, it's been over 100. And in order, pre-diabetics, that's classified as this zone of your glucose between 100 and 120 in a fasting. Glucose is about, that's pre-diabetic range, and I've been just above 100. So it's not bad, but it's not good. I should be down around 65, 70. And so I'm working now to get that down. And I believe, based on what I've been doing, I've been exercising more. And that's helping a lot. I exercise more than I eat. Stop eating at about 6 p.m. At night. And that gives my body a chance to process whatever I've eaten during the day. So when I get up in the morning, my glucose is down. So exercising, stress management, getting good sleep, eating foods. It's interesting, eating foods in the proper way at the right times. It makes a difference. So what I'm learning is you've got carbohydrates, fats, and proteins, and um, the sugars. So carbs turn into sugar, fats and proteins take a long time to process, so they're really good to eat. And then proteins are foods that you need to have, but I think we eat too much. And with the protein, if you eat more than your body needs, it turns into sugar. So you got to be careful with that too. But I think, from what I'm learning, eating fiber-rich foods, which are vegetables and resistant starches, things like certain vegetables. One comes to mind: Jerusalem artichokes. They're full of resistant starches that you can eat. And they're crispy, crunchy, nice tasting, light, and you can put them in your salad. And they taste really good. And they help kind of even off any sugar that you eat. So when you start your meal with some fiber, then you eat proteins or fats, and then you finish the meal with your carbohydrates. If you eat just like that, in that order, it's like taking a sandwich. What do you have? You have bread on 2 layers of bread, and then you've got meat and vegetables in there. So if you take that sandwich apart, you dissect it, put it on your plate. If you eat the lettuce first and the fruit and tomato, whatever's in there, and then you eat the meat part, and then you eat the bread on third, which is the carb. That actually doing that, just doing that, will reduce the insulin spike tremendously. It'll decrease their glucose high of the height of the spike by 77%, and it will reduce the glucose by like 43%. So it's just doing that is as good. If you need to take insulin, if you're type 2 diabetic, the study showed that just doing that, eating that way, will do as well as taking an insulin shot will. So, I mean, that's really cool. You have complete control of that. So if you wanted to start reducing, if you're type 2 diabetics and you need, and again, I'm not a doctor. This is all just for fun. I'm just learning and experiencing this myself and talking about it. But, talk to your doctor. See if you eat a certain way that you can do. There's a book called Glucose Revolution that I found. It's great. If you're into this subject, go pick that book up. Glucose Revolution. It's an amazing book written by a gal who's a data scientist, and she's put together a really nice story and a process that people can use, that she's used herself, to reduce her insulin resistance and increase her insulin sensitivity, which brought her from the pre-diabetic phase down into normal without medications. And that's what I'm doing right now. So it's exciting. I'm starting to feel the benefits of that. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is the idea now, looking at, I looked up, what does the United States look like in terms of how it compares to other countries and how much we're spending on our healthcare versus how healthy we are. And I heard that there was a study that was done where they showed that 88% of the US population, that's about 300 million people, have some form of insulin resistance, and that's even down into the adolescent age. People are getting that. And that it used to be, when I was a kid, the only people that had liver problems, fatty liver issues or cirrhosis of the liver, were alcoholics. And now they're finding it in children. And it's totally because of what we eat and how we eat, with all the sugar and carbs and, just things that we're eating that are affecting us over time. And it could take your body 20 years to get to a point where it just can't cope with the issues, which is really what happened to me, I think, now. And I'm trying to reverse that by listening to my body and listening to people who are experiencing these things themselves and have taken a path that's different than what we've been taught and are having success. And I'm following that, and I'm also starting to have success. So maybe there's something to this. But I wanted to share with you a couple of graphs that I found on the commonwealthfund.org site. And let me pull this up here. So this is the US, this is the chart from 1980 to 2021. that shows how much of the present GDP is spent on healthcare. So this line that's way up here, that's the United States. Everybody else, you've got Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Japan, Korea, Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, UK, and US. US is the bottom of the list and 17.8%. I think that's actually low. But you look at what this is, and we're spending so much more than everybody else in the world on our healthcare. Why? Well, it's because we're not we're not eating very well. We're sitting around on the computer all day. We're not exercising. We're stressed out of our gourds, and we're not taking care of our bodies. So, who's the Korea is the best, but they're inching up. Yeah, so it's really interesting. We're spending so much more money. And then the US spends 3 to 4 times more on healthcare than South Korea, New Zealand, and Japan. So we're spending what? Government plus compulsory plus voluntary, $10,600. I don't know what that is. Household US dollars per capita spent on health expenditures. So we're like way above everybody else. Why? Come down here and see U.S. life expectancy at birth is 3 years lower than the average. So here's everybody else, and then here's the United States, and we're getting worse. We're just like taking a dive here in 2021. So what is that all about? Why is that happening? Avoidable deaths per 100,000. Again, the U.S. is leading the field there. Highest rate of infant and maternal deaths. The United States leading the field. These are not good things. Rates of suicide, highest in U.S., Japan, and South Korea. And the U.S. is third on that. Well, we're not leading the field there, but certainly not good to be in the top 3 in that list. Obesity rates nearly double. So what is that about? Why are we so high on the obesity? Well, it's our diet, and that we don't exercise, and that we're not managing our stress, and we're not sleeping well. It's like, oh, hello. We have multiple chronic conditions. So that's all this stuff is adding up to, it's costing us so much to live in the United States with our healthcare, our food. We eat way too much. We're obese, and we don't exercise. We go to the gym and we say we exercise, but we're not really exercising. And we're getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And whose fault is it? Well, I think for me, it's been my fault. I take responsibility for that. I take 100% responsibility for my health. It's not the doctor. It's not the government. It's not the school. It's not my parents. It's nobody but me. I am responsible for my body and how I treat it, what I put inside it, how I exercise it, how I manage my stress. It's all on me. And I think there was one more in here that was interesting. That I saw. Hip replacements. Why are we so high for hip replacements? Well, maybe because we're too heavy and we're not taking care of our bodies, so their bones get weak and we break our hips. Hello. So anyway, that's my soapbox for tonight. And interesting stuff. I'm finding out that maybe for me, I know for me, taking personal responsibility for my weight, for my how my body feels, my energy level, my stress management, and my happiness, my general happiness in life is me. It's on me. So I would encourage you, anybody, to think about that. Uh, if you're not happy, if you are overweight, if you're feeling like maybe these things could be better, they probably could be. And start learning, reading, talking to people who've experienced what you want to experience, and ask questions. A lot of people are really getting into this now and having great success. So find somebody that's in your sphere of influence and find out what they're doing and learn about it. Try it. So that's my live for tonight. Have an awesome day. Remember to get out and vote tomorrow, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.